We'll
bugs.
see.
So, Among Us VR. I'm gonna go
Oh,
over and have
definitely.
us.
I'm gonna check for sure.
I'm gonna look at. We're gonna check a video out of kind of a review from IGN. So let's give it a
Instead of
look.
dead bodies reported, it's used bodies
Among Us
reported.
VR understands what made the original version of Inner Sloth's murder mystery game so special when it came out in 2018 and brought near endless shenanigans, placing 10 people inside a spaceship while 2 imposters try to murder everyone. This ground-up VR remake is a refreshing take on the premise that recaptures that suspense while introducing exciting new dynamics. Though its missing features and maps may prove disappointing to veterans, what's here is a great time that works gracefully. Right now, it's one of this year's best VR games. It's hard to overstate just how polished Among Us VR feels when playing. Shell Games has adapted it to virtual reality well. The cel-shaded 3D art style works to great effect, and switching to first-person gameplay proves natural. Walking around a recreation of the scaled spaceship map and using motion controls to carry out tasks feels a lot more immersive when you're intuitively fueling engines with a manual pump and priming shields by touching the screen. As always, how well a social game like this works comes down to who you're playing with. But in VR, there's a greater sense of presence when everyone's staring at you. Among Us VR faithfully recreates the original's template and once again splits us between
I'm gonna get
crewmates
voted
and
out.
imposters. Within a 4 to 10 player online match, crewmates must complete several randomly assigned tasks across the scaled before they're all stabbed in the back. Some tasks aren't particularly exciting, like waiting around for a data transfer, but the real joy comes from the social gameplay surrounding it. Still, there's several new tasks that make creative use of VR. The admin room, for instance, has a new retinal scanner that requires you to stand still for a few moments to verify that someone's not an imposter. Which isn't terribly exciting, though Medbay's whack-a-mole minigame is entertaining. As an imposter, your only goal is convincing everyone that you're just another crewmate, even as you're deviously killing them off and trying to get away with it. There are plenty of creative avenues for murder, such as jamming doors or causing a blackout, knowing that imposters can see in the dark. Or you can go big by sabotaging the ship by depleting the oxygen or causing a reactor meltdown, which are instant wins if crewmates leave them unfixed for too long.
Alright, so everybody pretty much knows how to play Among Us. It looks like the features are a little bit more streamlined, a little bit better, slightly better graphics, different perspective.
Emphasis on slightly.
What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, so there was already a VR chat mod that did the Among Us thing. So I feel like a lot of the work for this was already kind of done for them. Obviously,
Right.
they had to remake it themselves, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not surprised to see it as a title for VR. I think it's a title that works really well in VR.
Oh, you can recreate it in Minecraft.
But I don't know. To me, it's no surprise that it came out, and I think it looks cool. But I don't know if I'll be playing it anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I already see something that's going to happen with that eye scanner thing, where you're going to get into a game and somebody's going to be like, "All right, everybody line up, and we all go to the eye scanner." They're going to try and
Yeah, but I
basically
don't
like
think that
control the lobby, but
I don't know if that actually, because I don't know, for one, if well, number one, there actually was a scanner that works like that, but it's just a body scanner instead to confirm your identity. But I don't think it's going to be as practical as it sounds, because I think that's just a way of, just giving the players more something to do with the task while, they get waited to get their dicks chopped off by the imposter.
You're sounding pretty sus right now, Dylan.
Right.
It was blue, motherfucker. I saw it.
You're wearing blue.
So, Wanted to cover that because I know a lot of people do like that game. I'm not going to go beat a dead horse. I'm not personally a fan of Among Us, but let it go. I'll let it go.
In
sure
with
people
tiny
will like
shields
it.
where they got him.
All right, so next one that I want to check out, I'm definitely going to check this out because I think it's on day one release Game Pass, but Goat Simulator 3.
I am
Oh, hell
personally
yeah, dude.
not a fan of Goat Simulator, especially.
There's a
So
third
silly
one now?
though.
Whoops.
Oh boy.
What?
And special in beauty and fitness and mindfulness.
You're a rhino? What the fuck?
Or Star?
Whoa.
Whoa, okay, what's happening right now? I'm still lost right now.
You should be.
So I'm just saying,
What
the other
hell did I just
Pre-utter.
watch?
the other Goat Simulators
Unleash your
were
potential.
hilariously just bad. Like, they were purposely and hilariously bad. I played some of them. I'm not personally into them either, but I know that my
To
son
me-
loves it.
To me, they're just like ragdoll simulators.
Right.
Well, yeah, they are.
Like, there's
but, I mean,
there's no objective. Like, there's nothing to do. But it looks like
Oh,
there actually
there
kinda
are
is.
objectives.
Oh, are there?
I can
Well-
confirm that for sure. Yep.
I'll tell you, having played the first one specifically, there are little, basically achievements that you go for.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited because with the release of Goat Simulator 3, I finally will know for sure and realistically so what it's like to be a goat.
Right.
I mean, you're not gonna know that until they come out with Goat Simulator VR.
That's
Oh,
true.
I wonder how many.
shit.
I wonder how many Tom Brady jokes are going to be in that game.
Hopefully none.
Yeah. I was
Give
gonna
me a
say.
Wayne Brady joke.
All right, so the next one we've got Evil West. And this one has co-op, and I would like to play. I think I mentioned this to you before, Shalubi Snack. I think this would be something that would be cool to play. It's called Evil West, as I mentioned before. Let's give it a look on this
Careful,
gameplay
Jason.
overview.
Careful, Jason. People are very concerned about their identities now. He prefers to go by Yay.
Welcome to Evil West. A dark menace consumes the American frontier. Rise up to become a Wild West superhero and eradicate the vampire threat. That's mine. In this narrative-driven action adventure, you'll battle through an explosive campaign, alone or with a friend, as myths and legends come alive.
Smash! You didn't see that coming.
Beasts and bloodthirsty creatures lurk in the shadows in this twisted vision of the Old West.
Okay.
You play as Jesse Rentier, a vampire hunter raised by his father William in the ancient Rentier Institute.
My father in his office?
He is.
The last line of defense between humanity and the unrelenting supernatural forces. Jesse is already a well-trained hunter, though he can be unpredictable, rebellious, and stubborn.
Maybe you'll make it out of this after all.
Fortunately, you can always count on your partner Edgar, a retired Rentier agent forced back into action as a deadly vampiric conspiracy emerges from the darkness and deals a crippling blow to the Institute. Together, you'll lead the counterattack against these monsters, while Jesse learns to accept his growing responsibilities and become a leader.
A later.
Explore every corner of the Wild West.
Let's go.
From vast oil fields to infested mines and mighty canyons to shadowy ghost towns. As you progress on your journey, you'll encounter
Devil
new
May
friends,
Cry Yeehaw
vital
edition.
for bolstering your forces against the
I don't think it'll be
vampire
Devil May
threat,
Cry.
but even more new folk.
It'll probably be like Gears of War.
Evil West is all about
From the looks of it,
over-the-top,
doesn't seem
high-octane
like it's,
action. Combine and customize all the tools at your disposal to defeat the supernatural hordes with style and efficiency. As you rebuild the
Not too
Rentier
bad.
Institute, you'll unlock a growing arsenal of weapons and equipment. Make use of your trusty revolver for fast and reliable damage at close to mid-range. With the rifle, you can directly target and hit enemy weak spots for devastating damage. Bullseye.
Dang.
Need more raw power? You'll want the Rentier Boomstick. A heavy-hitting, sawed-off shotgun ideal for close combat.
Gotcha.
Unusual threats require unusual tools. Sometimes a good lightning-powered punch is just what you need. The Rentier Gauntlet is one of the most advanced technological achievements from the Institute Research Laboratory to date.
Is that an earthworm?
Christ, what
Looked like it. Like cross
There's a
between
lot
an
of deadly
earthworm and a
tools to
xenomorph.
try out in battle. It's up to
An axe
you to
blaster.
mix and match these tools, combined with melee and ranged attacks to create powerful combos, while dodging, blocking, and parrying your way to victory. Each weapon and tool in your arsenal has its own skill tree, letting you upgrade and customize your playstyle even further. Infuse weapons with the power of lightning, or supercharge your gauntlet to unleash an endless ballet of dazzling
Dang.
punches.
Perfect.
The world of Evil West is full of mysteries to uncover, and, well, colossal foes to take on.
Dang.
Whoa, whoa.
Become the ultimate vampire hunter
Dipshit.
when Evil West releases on consoles and PC.
Looks pretty good.
It
So-
does. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have
That's-
anything funny to say about that. It just looks like a good game.
One complaint I have about the way that trailer is presented is why the fuck do you have to have somebody explaining what I'm seeing on the screen the entire fucking trailer?
Right.
I'll give you that, but
And so I would have much preferred if that trailer was more like just a showcase of what the gameplay looked like with like a music score behind it, kind of like they had towards the end of it. And I don't know, just the trailer itself wasn't
I mean, they're doing
Great,
that because
in my
of
opinion.
TikTok. You know that, right?
what talking over it.
Yep.
well, they
Wha-
have to
was
do
that-
that
what
because
does
the
that have
average
anything to do
person
with
that uses
TikTok?
TikTok is not smart enough to
Dude,
realize what's going on
TikTok
the screen.
is annoying in that way where
Right.
they have to have the TikTok narrator do narration over everything.
I'm touching my keyboard.
Yeah.
I am typing. Ha 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 ha. God's annoying. I hate TikTok. Yeah, that game actually looks pretty creative, and it looks like it. Depending on just how the gaming community takes it upon release, it could be a game of the year candidate because it looks like the graphics look pretty. They look pretty cool.
There's some good shader work.
Oh yeah, definitely. The vampires. I'm not really a vampire person. I'm more of a zombies person. I like to go against zombies, but however, the vampires, they actually look like something they're worth fighting, not something I'm just like really a vampire. Because I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the way vampires are nowadays, I can't take them serious. I can't. I just cannot.
Right.
But no, those actually look like, hey, wow, that thing looks very terrifying. I think I want to go kill it. That's why I want. Yeah, if you're gonna make a game with zombies or some sort of like a supernatural cosmic horror, make it scary. Make it something that makes me think, wow, if I were to let this thing live, this thing could be a huge threat. I need to get rid of this thing. Not really this thing.
Right.
Really. You're not even worth the bullets I'm gonna waste on. You're not even worth the bullets that I paid for. Come on.
You know, have any of you guys seen the movie Priest?
Yeah,
Heard of
a
it.
long time ago. Yep.
I got a lot of vibes of that from that trailer.
Yeah, kind of. I could see
Like
that.
the vampires looking like savage actual monsters instead of just a dude with too big of a collar, and
Yeah.
cowboys and all that. That just thematically they look kind of similar.
Now you're just making me think of that Abraham Lincoln movie.
The Abraham
was
Lincoln
thinking that
Vampire
too.
Hunter was awesome, and you know it.
So I'm going to cover two more here, and then we'll be towards the end here. So this one I'm going to cover just because Tiny Shields will most likely be streaming this upon release. And we'll be putting some kind of reactions and maybe montage videos of her leveling here. But World of Warcraft Dragonflight is going to be coming out November 28th. So let's give a look at and see what this hands-on preview is from IGN on what they found.
Coming off the heels of Shadowlands, which garnered significant criticism for its endgame content and its story, World of Warcraft's 9th expansion, Dragonflight, has a lot to prove. Fortunately, for those of us who have been wondering when the fog around the Dragon Isles might finally lift, Blizzard is at last preparing to launch its alpha, and I was able to get a brief, limited taste of what the dragons have in store for us. I could have spent hours fussing with the Drac.
Hours? Come on.
Their evoker character creator, customizing every detail of both the draconic and human forms of WoW's new hero class. It's the most robust character creation Blizzard has made yet, though at least some part of that is due to the Drakthir's unique draconic forms, requiring a custom armor set rather than taking on the appearance of whatever armor they have equipped. It definitely makes the character creators for Blizzard's older races look woefully thin, though, and I hope once Drakthir are locked in, some of that love will get shared around. I got a decent tour of the ranged magic abilities of the Evoker's Devastation specialization, which is a curious toolkit that deftly mixes crowd control, multi-target damage, and movement. I enjoyed the novelty of the new charged ability, Fire Breath, though currently its quick charge time doesn't make the wait feel like much of a sacrifice. I'd like to see Blizzard do more with the risk-reward trade-off involved here, and I'm interested to see if charge abilities are dynamic enough to become a permanent staple of Evoker gameplay. Another aspect I enjoyed was the crisscrossing customizability of both the Evoker talent tree and the Devastation tree. Devastation splits off into fire-themed and arcane-themed branches, while the Evoker tree has a side dedicated to crowd control and another dedicated to healing, so you can either make focus choices or mix and match. The differentiation in the trees feels almost like picking subspecializations, an idea that I hope will be carried out similarly with other classes too. My brief stint in the Dragon Isles took me to the Azure Span, a region defined largely by its verticality and its rainbow topography. There's no denying that World of Warcraft looks increasingly dated the longer it goes on, but interesting color palettes, architecture, and geography can do a lot to mitigate that. If the Azure Span ends up emblematic of the rest of the Dragon Isles, then Dragonflight on the whole might not be too bad to stare at for the next 2 years or so of expansion content, especially from the air. The best bit of Dragonflight thus far is its dragon riding, which is far more than just a repackaged flight feature. The Azure Span was a great testing ground, allowing me to leap off its tallest cliff faces and swoop down into the valleys below at high speeds. I was able to build speed on declines that was then spent as I soared upward again, but I could also spend energy on a special stamina meter, called Vigor, to flat back upward or zip straight ahead even faster. With a bit of practice, I was mapping out flight paths from the Azure Span's highest peaks that took me all the way across the zone. The Azure Span I soared through wasn't finished yet, so I'm hoping its final cut includes more in the way of interesting flying tests or quests that can only be completed by mastering the swooping skills I was tooling around with. and the climbs back uphill when your energy is spent are about as enjoyable as dragging your toboggan up a mountain after a gleeful sled down. But Blizzard has clearly left room for more skills to be unlocked that could trivialize this problem for those who invest enough in their dragons. Given what I saw here, I'm optimistic that dragon riding will only shine brighter the further characters progress into Dragonflight.
Well, there you go.
With just a few hours to spend in pre-alpha and some pretty significant training wheels on, it's hard to get an exact idea of how Dragonflight will shape up. I didn't get a solid grasp of where the main story was going, but I did spend a lot of time doing very World of Warcraft activities like collecting pine cones and killing air elementals. I fussed with the new crafting menus, but so much of their success depends on resource availability, economy, and tuning that it's tough to get a handle on whether this is more than just an interface improvement. Similarly, UI customization appears to still be in its infancy, so while I'm optimistic for the feature, we're likely in for a lot of tinkering before anyone can say whether we should ditch all our old add-ons or not. That doesn't even mention all the keys to endgame: dungeons, PvP, long-term story progression, and raids. For now, though, the Dragon Isles seem a welcoming enough place, and are certainly worth the vigor it takes to swoop and soar around. I'm curious to see whether Blizzard can ultimately deliver on its grandest promises for its long-awaited Dragon expansion, especially at such a chaotic time for the company and the studio.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm glad that got mentioned as well. I thought Blizzard was like getting boycotted by like a lot of its fan base. Last I heard, unless that blew over.
I haven't heard anything about it recently.
They've got bought out by Microsoft, and the
that's right,
Bobby Kotick, I think, is no longer the head of it anymore, which he was kind of one of the bigger problems, in my opinion. But one last one. We're getting towards the end of the stream here. Tiny Shields confirms he gone. And I just want to mention, we are going to be putting some footage videos on the Squeeze Box from Tiny Shields in regards to Dragonflight. Probably a couple different classes that she'll be playing, so be on the lookout for that. This last one here, I am probably most excited about. The new Warhammer 40k game, Darktide, is going to be coming out, which will mirror very much what Vermintide was. But I think from what I've been hearing of people who have tried the betas, have tested this quite a bit, it's going to be even better, maybe. We'll see. But let's check out this 2-minute HD gameplay trailer to see what we think about this new iteration of the Warhammer series.
Manufacturer HL1736 is heading towards a power systems failure thanks to a bit of heretic sabotage. So you're going to restore the coolant and hopefully save the day. Get in, access the operations array, and use the cryonic rods to flush the system. Preferably before something explodes. Head on through the ventilation tunnels and look for an access point.
This way! Move it!
Dang.
Ooh, that's some brutal combat right there. Ooh, oh!
Set your data interrogators. If all goes well, we can unlock the system, prime the rods, and send them where they're needed.
Target is here! Engaging!
Looks wild, dude.
It does.
That's the first part done. Get to the base of the Matrix spire and put those cryonic rods to work. What are you waiting for? Get
His
in
head
way.
popped off.
Hot goes the weevil.
Now! You finished here? Look for a way out.
Dang. So I gotta say, that game looks pretty wild. I didn't give any dates on these, so I'll just go down them really quick. Among Us VR, November 10th, so that's already out. Goat Simulator 3, November 15th. The 22nd is Evil West release date. Dragonflight will be releasing November 28th. And, like I said, Warhammer 40k Dark Tide will release November 30th.